Hello and welcome to your weekly Oracle card reading for the week of October 6th, 2014. This week's reading comes from Doreen Virtue's Heal with Your Angels deck. So the reading this week is very short and sweet. I think they gifted me this because I was running short on time to get this up on time. So I think they gifted me in the way that they kind of came through with the reading for me this week. Not only with how the cards came up, but just the message they gave me to deliver was very to the point. So the first half of the week, and this, actually, I'm using that terminology. Let me back up a minute. I'm using that terminology because that's my standard. The impression that was given to me is that this 3 card is an overall feel for the week, and each will work together in unison for the entire week. So I'm going to give this in my usual way, but understand that these are all kind of happening simultaneously. So the first thing we see for the week, I'll say, is support. This card is letting you know that you have a vast support system of angels and guides and healers and master teachers and ascended masters and loved ones who are supporting you or are there for you at this transition time of your spiritual journey, at this evolution. And this card is being sent to us to remind us to exhibit our free will or exert our free will and choose to ask for the help. Because it's when we open up and choose to receive and ask for the help is when we can receive it. It can't happen without us being open and receptive to it. So understand there's a support system. There always has been. It's about us receiving it, asking for it, and having a ongoing kind of a give and take relationship with our support system. The more you communicate, the more you ask, the more you talk, the more symbols and signs you'll see from them, and before you know it, we'll get to, well, kind of the next card, what we're looking at here. And that next card is listening. So this is why after I pulled these cards and I kind of thought about it and pondered it for a minute, this is why they're saying it's all happening at the same time. So they're reminding us about our support system, but they're also telling us to listen, to be open, to receive that support, to let down any resistance you may have if you feel funny or weird that you're asking for, angelic help or help from loved ones. It's real and it's there. And this card now transitions us to you've asked the support, now you need to receive it. And they're telling us specifically to listen. And by listen, they don't necessarily mean listening with your ears. It's being observant. It's not only accepting the guidance that you're being given as truth and then following through with it, but it's also a call to be more aware, be a little more vigilant for the signs and ways that they're sending you messages. Whatever intuitive means they are communicating with you through, any of the clairs, or even just through synchronicities or signs, things that are being left behind for you to see, and you start to notice it more and more. All these little synchronicities are the most primitive language of communication for us humans to comprehend. So they're telling us to listen, and by listen in general is not only to be more aware and observant of the communication and messages they're sending, but to trust that, and then respond to it by initiating it and activating it in your life. If we're asking for help, we're asking for opinions, or we're asking for guidance of any type or input, the important thing is to then use the input that we're being given. All too often I have people come to me wanting to know about their boyfriend or girlfriend or sibling who they're having trouble with, and the cards will come out one way, and 6 months later they're back for another reading to see, well, how come things haven't gotten better? It's hard sometimes, but you have to take the guidance you're being given and that you're asking for at face value, and become active with include, or the words are escaping me here, but to actually implementing that into your life and your actions. Now, as we move through our final card for this week's reading, we see abundance. Everything seems to come back to abundance, and again, they're revisiting this subject because understandably, people aren't always acting on the guidance they're being given, taking those leaps of faith, such as leaving your primary job to pursue light work or energy work full-time. Obviously, if the opportunity is not presenting itself, it's certainly scary to do that, and I'm not telling you to do that, but this is where a lot of us are. I myself are in that situation. The message with the abundance here is trust, not only that there is a higher plan, and that this abundance is making its way to you in many forms, not just monetarily. And the more you trust, and the more you listen, and the more you ask for that support, and the more you open up to receive that support and let down those resistances, the easier that support, financial, spiritual, emotional, physical, will continue to flow in at a faster rate. This card also is coming to us right now as a sign beyond the trust and beyond the all the asking for the helps and understanding and all that. The core for this, and this is what they're kind of trying to move me to say, but I'm resisting because I want to get out all my prerequisites to this, is it's really about the resistance. And beyond the resistance, because people say, well, I'm not resistant to more money. The desperation of wanting more money causes its own resistance. It's like the speeches I give about affirmations. It's a higher vibrational prayer. So it's about lowering the resistance to receiving abundance. Oftentimes that can be a byproduct of someone wanting to help you out, and you take the stance, well, I don't take charity. You have to lower that resistance. If you're asking for help and someone else is trying to help you, you can't take the stance that, well, I don't take charity. However, the universe is funneling that money that you're asking for to you is how you have to receive it. So the message with this abundance card is to know that there is something going on, there is something at work. If you're asking for it and you're trusting in it, that it will come. They're asking us to let down our resistance and learn how to receive. The moral of this entire week is learning to receive not only abundance, but the spiritual help, the physical worldly help. It's learning to ask, but more importantly, learning to receive it. Now, you have to ask for it to receive it. It's the human free will. But many of us ask, but don't really receive. If it's not the exact answer we want or the time frame we're looking for, we grow resistant to it. So the moral of this week's overall reading is learning to receive. So as we process this week, all these things are working hand in hand through the entire week. It's not necessarily a first half, second half weekend thing, but the overall lesson that they want all of us to focus on this week is learning how to receive better. And that's not just abundance, but abundance plays a big part of it for a lot of us out there. So that's it. So learn to receive, ask for the help, set high vibrational intentions and manifestations and affirmations. And when you get that gut instinct, when you feel you're getting guidance, whether it be through symbols or signs or an intuitive nature, trust it. Trust it is real. You asked for it, so why wouldn't it be real? It's easy to say, well, maybe that's my imagination, or you have to trust it. And the more you trust it, the more it's going to come, the more accurate it'll be, and the more fruitful your spiritual growth will inevitably become. So with that, I want to close this out. Thank you all again for watching, listening, viewing, liking, and subscribing. You can reach me at all the normal places, and this week, Tuesday, I'll be doing the live interview with Sarah Hall, who has some wonderful YouTube meditations up on her channel, and she's a active practicing light worker and angel worker, and we'll be interviewing her Tuesday night, and the video will be promptly then posted over to this YouTube channel. So thank you again. Have a wonderful week.